This case made every wife look at their husbands and go, "Are you capable of this?" Because hey friends, it's Jens, and I'm back with another case on anxiety and alibis.
Hey everybody! So I'm home with the family.
This is the case of Shannan Watts. This case made every wife look at their husbands and go, "Are you capable of this?" Because back in 2018 in Colorado, the Watts family looked picture perfect from the outside. There was Shannan, the wife, the mother, doting mother, the hard worker, the entrepreneur, just all over bubbly, charismatic personality. There was her husband, Chris, with their two little girls, Bella and Celeste, and another baby boy on the way. They seemed like an all-American family. From the outside, it looked like they had it all. The perfect kids, the perfect house, the perfect marriage, and that's where things get really dangerous. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. On August 13th, Shannan's friend Nicole dropped Shannan off at her house after they were on a business work trip. Her friend Nicole checks in with her the next morning because she knew she had a baby appointment. Nicole checked in with Shannan, and after a while, she knew something was off. She wasn't hearing back from her, and Shannan usually had her phone glued to her. She was texting her, calling her, and there was nothing. And obviously, this is going to make a friend worried. She's pregnant, she has 2 kids at home, and she's not picking up. So her friend does what every friend should do, shows up. Nicole goes to Shannan's house. She's trying to get in contact with Shannan's husband, Chris. Chris seems less than worried. But after a lot of poking and just being a good friend, she finally got Chris to show up at the house. Not before the police did, because she contacted the police as well. Chris seemed to mosey on home on his own accord. When he got there, it seemed like he was not in a rush. He was not worried. It just seemed like, I'm just going to show them that nothing's wrong here and they'll be on their way.
I'm here. Hang on. Okay, yeah, get me on the phone. Okay, get Matt on the phone.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
He went through the garage to open up the front door for the police, and I feel like it took way longer than it needed to take. Why are you taking that long opening a front door when it's right next to the garage? Police, Nicole, and Chris all went inside, and that's when things took a turn for Nicole because she started to notice things and was pointing them all out. Chris, on the other hand, was just kind of there. Nicole was the one going, her purse is here. Her medications are here. Everything is here but her. And where are the girls? Not even Chris was wondering where the girls were. Those are your daughters. What are you doing? Are you okay? At this point, I think Chris starts doing what guilty people do, and that is talking way too much. If you look at Shannan's friend in the body cam footage, you can tell she's side-eyeing Chris. She's like, "What did you do?" Because something is off here. Chris does not seem even worried in the least bit. And once news got out and got around, Shannan and Chris's neighbor actually came over and said, "Hey, I have some footage that you might be interested in." So they all went over to this neighbor's house, and during that time, Shannan's friend Nicole was telling one of the police officers, like, "I think he did something." And we all were thinking it. It's the first thing everybody thinks when something happens to a wife. The husband did it. They go over to this neighbor's house, and the neighbor, like, I feel like the neighbor was very, very anxious to show them this because he seemed like he knew, you know? So they're all standing there watching this video, and it's literally Chris backing his truck up to the garage and loading some stuff in the truck. Chris is standing there swaying, looking like he wants to run as soon as he can. But he just seemed like so nonchalant about it. And that's what was just so scary. And he was visibly sweating, but he looked so nervous in his face.
Because if there was any sort of action out there,
his camera's
I would have got it.
like
Right.
we had issues the other week when people were stealing stuff out of like garages and stuff.
After the video was done being shown, Chris left. The neighbor said to the police officer that he thinks Chris did something because he doesn't act like that. He's not acting normal, is what he said. If I was the neighbor showing that video to this man whose wife is missing, I would have been like, why are you backing your truck up in the middle of the night? What are you loading in there, Chris? Where is your wife, Chris? Safe to say this man was unraveling in real time. And that's when all of the infamous interviews went down. He's talking in past tense.
Yeah, because like Bella was gonna start kindergarten next Monday.
He just has this look in his face of guilt. And I feel like when we saw his face on the TV screen, we all knew. You can't tell me you didn't.
If she can watch these, what would you like to tell your wife and your kids?
Shannan, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody. I need to see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
As usual, as it goes in these cases, the police started digging and they started looking into everything. And that's where I just don't understand. When these people do these things and take these actions, how do you not realize the police are going to dig into your life? They're going to see things. They're going to go through your texts. And that's when they realized that their marriage was not perfect by no means, and they should be looking closer at Chris as if they already weren't. They start hitting Chris hard, and they bring him in, and they're interviewing him, and he just is keeping up his story, keeping it up. Chris is trying to stand his ground, but honestly, I can hear it in his voice. I can hear the quiver in his voice that he knows that they're onto him.
It was like I was walking just like walk on eggshells type thing. It's kind of like you feel like you're always doing something that's wrong. It's like you feel like you're never like, does that make sense at all? The timing doesn't make.
Obviously, we all know, if you didn't know, Chris had a mistress and was not being faithful to Shannan. Shannan was trying to make their marriage work and was trying to do literally everything. It looks and feels like she was trying to do literally everything to save their marriage because she wanted that. And it's just so sad to think that she was fighting for a losing battle. He is offered to take a polygraph test, and he says yes. The lady that was giving the test literally said, "You're gonna fail this. You know that, right?" And he still took it.
Because you knew sitting down in that chair that you weren't going to pass today, and you knew I was going to find out because I told you that.
He failed so bad. And I could have told you that was going to happen. They confront him with the fact that he failed, and that's when he breaks. And when he breaks, he just decides to tell lies, which I feel like most guilty people do, but the fact that his lies were directed at Shannan, his missing wife, was just heinous. I'm not even going to give time to those lies that he put out there because it would just be very disrespectful to Shannan, who was a loving mother. I know she cared about those children more than anything in the world. So Chris basically made himself a victim. He admitted to the fact that yes, they were gone and here is where you can find them, but I am a victim. And this is why I did what I did. Eventually the truth comes out. He tells them where they can find Shannan, Bella, and Celeste. And lo and behold, he put them in his work truck and drove them to his work, where he put Shannan in the ground and Celeste and Bella in an oil tank. He didn't just take the lives of his entire family. He tried to pretend that nothing happened. And he thought he was going to get away with it, which is crazy to me. He really thought that I'm going to get to go live my life with my mistress and I can just erase my family. The fact that he was so coy and so calm is honestly scary. He was the one that inflicted pain on his children. You heard the case, you heard the overview. Let's talk about the red flags. Red flag number 1. In a video that Shannan posted on Facebook of her announcing that she was pregnant with their 3rd child, you can see in his eyes the despair.
We did it again. I like that shirt. Really?
Really?
That's awesome. So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
Red flag number 2 is Chris was not pressing how serious this was. It didn't feel like it was that serious to him. He was in no rush to get home. He was in no rush to figure out where they were. Red flag number 3 is when they went through the house and everything was there. Obviously, that's going to be a big one in your face, but the fact that everything was there except for the sheets on the bed, you tell me. The sheets on Shannan and Chris's bed were not there. Weird. Red flag number 4. When he was doing the interviews, he was referring to them in past tense, and that is a huge red flag for everybody. If you're referring to somebody in past tense when they are missing, you know something. Makes this case really hit the heart so hard is we may know somebody for years and we may never truly actually know them. And we won't know that until it's too late. Shannan was doing everything right. She was a loving mother. She was a caring wife. And she was trying. She was working hard and showing up for her family. And the one person that's supposed to protect that ruined it. Destroyed it. He ended Shannan's life. He ended Bella's life. He ended Celeste's life. And he ended their unborn baby boy's life. I just will never understand how it goes through a parent's mind to put harm on their child, let alone their spouse. Thank you again for watching Anxiety and Alibis, and thanks for diving into this case with me. I want to know in the comments, where were you when you learned of the Shannan Watts case? And I am calling it the Shannan Watts case because this case is more of a tribute to her life and the life that she lived and everything that she brought to the table versus the case of that disgusting, vile little weasel of a man, not even a man.
You guys have a great night. Love you. And all right, bye guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know if you have any other recommendations, and I'll see you in the next